Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a really special video because, yes, we're almost there. Garten of Banban 8 is getting closer and closer. The countdown keeps going, the hype is growing, and we are here, ready to dive into new theories, mysteries, and chilling connections. Finally, we're getting closer and closer to the official release of the game. And every day brings us new clues, new information, and new chances to discover what awaits us in the Banban's kindergarten. In this video, we're going to focus on a character who's back in the spotlight thanks to a really mysterious line in the final trailer. I'm talking about Sheriff Toadster. Did you catch the strange sentence that shows up right after we see Sheriff Toadster in the trailer? What does it really mean? Is it a warning, a threat, or maybe a hidden message? That's why today we're going to look at some creepy new theories about this weird sheriff, about what he might really be hiding, and what role he'll play in this 8th chapter, which promises to be one of the darkest and most surprising in the entire series. But before we start, if you're also hyped for Garten of Banban 8 and you want to stay updated on all the news, subscribe to the channel right now, turn on the notification bell and leave a big like on this video. New info keeps dropping from Banban's kindergarten every day, and we don't miss a single one here. So get ready, because we're going back into that cursed kindergarten where nothing is what it seems. And today we're doing it with the sheriff's badge in our hand and lots of questions in our minds. Let's dive right into the new theories about Sheriff Toadster. Now we're getting into the heart of the mystery. Let's talk about all the latest news about Sheriff Toadster, a character who, even though he doesn't appear directly in the Garten of Banban 8 trailer, is definitely making people talk. In fact, even if we don't see Sheriff Toadster in the final trailer, we can clearly hear a sentence, short but very meaningful. Now justice will be served. Now, some people might think it's just a dramatic line thrown in to set the mood, but we hardcore fans of the Banban series know one thing for sure. In Garten of Banban, nothing is random. Every word, every detail, every sound in the background might be hiding something much deeper. And this sentence, in my opinion, hides a lot of information. Because if we stop and think about it, what does it mean to say justice served? It means that something has happened, that someone has completed a mission, has done what they believed was right. And if the one speaking is Sheriff Toadster himself, then we have to ask, what justice is he talking about? And most of all, against who? To understand that, we need to go back and follow the narrative thread that connects Sheriff Toadster to the Queen. As we know, the Queen is a mysterious figure in the world of Banban. She's a giant kangaroo. And what does a kangaroo do? It carries its young in its pouch. But beware, in her pouch there aren't just innocent babies. There are also the infamous naughty ones, and even Sir Dadadoo. Sheriff Toadster had one clear mission. He was the guardian of the Queen. His goal? To protect her, maintain order, and make sure no one, especially Sir Dadadoo and the naughty ones, could ever escape from the Queen's pouch. So now it all starts to make sense. The phrase in the trailer could be connected to Sir Dadadoo. That said, now we can start connecting the dots and come up with a really interesting theory. What if that phrase justice will be served is directly connected to Sir Dadadoo? Because think about it, Sir Dadadoo is one of the most important and disturbing characters in the recent chapters. We saw him break free, grow more powerful, and put everyone in danger. Let's not forget, Sir Dadadoo managed to escape from the Queen's pouch, and that event completely disrupted the balance inside the kindergarten. In fact, he was the main antagonist of chapters 6 and 7. He was the leader, the naughty ones, and in chapter 7 he brought his threat to a whole new level. We witnessed the final defeat of the naughty ones, including the Notifieds, those corrupted and powered up versions of the other characters. At the end of chapter 7, in the final battle, he was defeated by Jumbo Josh in one of the most spectacular and mysterious scenes of the entire game. At that point, many of us believed that Sir Dadadoo wouldn't survive, that it was the end for him. But no, the Garten of Banban 8 trailer revealed something shocking. Sir Dadadoo is still alive. Not only that, from the way he stands, from his look, and how he's shown. And now the phrase justice will be served takes on a whole new meaning. We might be facing an epic showdown, an inevitable clash between Sheriff Toadster, the symbol of law and balance, and Sir Dadadoo, the bringer of chaos and rebellion. Two opposing figures with clashing ideals destined to collide. We might be looking at a chapter where the two finally face off. Maybe Sheriff Toadster has captured Sir Dadadoo, or maybe he let him go for darker reasons. And what if it was actually Sir Dadadoo who changed? And that phrase hides a twisted version of justice? As always, nothing is what it seems in Banban's kindergarten. Speaking of Sir Dadadoo, there's another important point to consider. His survival could actually turn into a huge problem for us players. Yes, because if Sir Dadadoo is still alive, that means in Chapter 8, we won't be dealing with just one enemy, but with a full-on war of antagonists. And right in the middle of all that chaos is us. In Chapter 8, the new main antagonist will be Sirinjon. However, Sirinjon is not just our enemy, he's also the sworn enemy of Sir Dadadoo. And that's where things get messy. Because in the world of Garten of Banban, when two monsters are in conflict, the one who suffers the most is whoever gets caught in the middle. So here's the most likely scenario. In Chapter 8, we players will find ourselves trapped in a massive clash between two terrifying, unstoppable monsters. On one side, Sir Dadadoo, still alive, ready to take back power and get revenge. On the other, Sirinjon. We won't control either of them, and that means we'll become mere pawns in a battle that's far beyond our reach. And how are we supposed to survive something like this? How do we escape from a place where the enemies aren't just fighting us, but also each other? A war between factions where the player gets dragged into the middle, confused, caught in traps set by both sides, forced to choose the lesser evil, or even fake temporary alliances, just to survive. And if we thought things were already out of control in Chapter 7, well, Garten of Banban 8 might take us to a whole new level of narrative chaos. A level where there's no longer just one enemy, but a multi-layered conflict where no one's really good, no one's entirely evil, everyone has a hidden agenda, and we are the unwanted obstacle in their plans. In the end, the survival of Sir Dadadoo, combined with the rise of Sirinjon, could become the player's worst nightmare. Not because one of them is too strong, but because together they turn Chapter 8 into a living battlefield. Now let's go back to talk about Sheriff Toadster. In the third teaser trailer, we saw him in a scene that got fans talking a lot. He appears sad, with red eyes, almost shocked, and with the expression of a creature that's lost control. But why? What happened to him? Well, we already know Sheriff Toadster has lost everything. He lost the Queen, the one he was supposed to protect at all costs, and he lost Bitter Giggle, his companion and probably the only true friend he had in the entire facility. His mission, his sense of justice, his balance, it all collapsed. And when a character as disciplined and strict as a sheriff loses everything that grounds him, anything can happen. At first, many of us theorized that he would become our new antagonist in Chapter 8, a character consumed by pain and frustration, losing his clarity and becoming dangerous, even to us players. But now, after hearing that sentence in the trailer, those theories might be changing. We might be facing a different kind of transformation. Yes, Sheriff Toadster might still lose control, but instead of turning against the player, he might unleash all his rage and grief directly on Sir Dadadoo. And if we think about it, it makes perfect sense. It's Sir Dadadoo's fault that the Queen is dead. It's Sir Dadadoo's fault that Bitter Giggle is gone. All the pain, the destruction, the loss leads back to one culprit, Sir Dadadoo. So imagine this, Sheriff Toadster, heartbroken but driven by justice, deciding to take revenge, not for himself, but for those he could no longer protect. And with that, today's video comes to an end. If you enjoyed it and want to stay updated on all the theories, trailers and hidden secrets of Garten of Banban 8, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know down in the comments what you think about Sheriff Toadster. Do you think he'll become an enemy or a desperate ally willing to do anything? Thanks for watching. Bye bye.